Over the next 8 months, we're going to be traveling all across South America and even Antarctica.
And everything that we brought with us are in these 2 bags.
In this video, we're going to be totally emptying our bags and show you everything that we bring along for long-term travel using just a carry-on. I'm Justin.
And I'm Jess, and if you're new here, we're full-time travel bloggers. Half the year we live in an RV and travel around North America, but the other half we do international travel. Over the past 8 years, we've traveled to over 20 countries together and have never checked a bag for international travel.
This time we're going to be traveling everywhere from Caribbean beaches all the way to polar plunging in Antarctica. So we definitely have to pack for a wide range of experiences and still be able to fit everything into these 45-liter bags. So you might be wondering why we choose to travel just using carry-on bags.
So for one, it's cheaper. Almost all airlines nowadays charge you to check your bags. Additionally, it's just easier. You don't have to wait in line at the airport to check your bag in. We don't have to wait for the luggage carousel after we get off the plane.
No risk of losing your bags. One of the most important things that we carry are the bags themselves. We use the Peak Design 45-liter travel backpacks. We've been traveling with them for about 4 years now. I don't want this to be an ad for these bags. In fact, we wrote a whole review article about it if you want to read more, but they're super modular. You can organize them in a bunch of different ways, and they're incredibly durable. So they hold up to all of the abuse that we throw at them as we travel all across the world.
Most importantly, it meets most airlines' carry-on specifications, so we don't have to worry about being charged extra fees when we reach the counter.
There's a ton of really cool features about this bag that we'll show you as we start to unpack them, starting with one of my favorite, these external carry straps. So you'll notice all around this bag, from top to bottom, inside and out, we've got these loops and these straps that can be hidden away. We use them for our boots, but we can use these to hold sleeping bags to the outside, anything bulky. So I use these Topo athletic boots. I've been hiking with these for about 4 years now. I think they're my 4th pair. They're super light, they're waterproof.
So I used to use Topo and I actually really love them. However, for women, they only have really bright colors and we only each have 2 pairs of shoes. So I didn't really want to be walking around cities in yellow colored shoes, so I chose to go with these new Danner hiking boots. While we're on this topic of shoes, we also each have these Teva Hurricane sandals. We love them. You can hike with them. You can walk on the beach with them. You can hike in a stream with them, or you can wear them around a city.
I don't know if you can tell, but I have these like giant white stripes on my feet. It's not a skin condition. I just exclusively wear my Tevas everywhere.
So we're going to break this video down into categories, starting with clothing.
Also, we paid for literally everything that you're going to see in this video, so it's not sponsored. If it's on us, it's something that we believe in. And we even wrote a blog post that contains a description of literally every single thing that we're going to show you today. So if you want to check it out in more detail, click on the link in the description. So I've got...
Justin has like 5 articles.
Yeah, most of my bag is just camera stuff, which you'll see in a second. So I've got socks and underwear here, so I carry 3 pair of hiking socks, 4 pair of underwear, which doesn't sound like a lot, but all of the shorts that I wear are lined. I have 3 pair of shorts. They're all from Vuori. Most of my clothes, actually I'm like a walking model for Vuori. I wish they would sponsor us. So I'm wearing a dark blue pair right now. They're the, I forget the name, but I'll show it on the screen. Also, it'll be in the link below. They look super great. They're really comfortable. They've got a soft lining on the inside. They have Velcro pockets or zippable pockets. They're just awesome. I wear them everywhere. They're really durable. Then I have 5 Vuori t-shirts, including the one that I'm wearing right now, in various earth tone shades. Also super duper comfortable. I love these. I've washed them like 100 times. I literally wear these same 5 shirts on rotation year round, and they don't stretch or get funky shaped. I mean, they just hold up really, really well. I love these shirts. I highly recommend them. Then I have 2 button-down shirts, also from Vuori. These just look a little bit nicer. I have one in kind of a lightish red color and then kind of a light gray color. We'll wear these if we go to a restaurant. I just don't want to look as casual. They're super soft, very breathable, clean really well, and they maintain their shape. I have 2 pair of pants, also from Vuori. They're the Meta pants. I have them in a dark green and a dark gray. These are exclusively the only pants that I buy now. They're stretchable, they're lightweight, they're breathable.
Justin wears shorts like 99% of the time.
But when I do wear pants, like when we will be going to Antarctica, this is what I wear if I need to put something warmer on. Also, these are great for hiking. They're also really abrasion resistant. So if I'm climbing over rocks or scrambling, they're not going to tear. And they're kind of expensive, but they're super worth it, especially if they're the only pair of pants that you own. These are items I put all the way at the bottom of this compartment that I don't use very often. I have a pair of insulated gloves that I'm bringing along for our hiking to Patagonia next year and to Antarctica at the end of this year. And then a pair of rain pants that the expedition company in Antarctica said are super, super important, because I think when you go onto like those Zodiac rafts and they splash up a ton of like freezing cold water. And then last but not least is this packing cube. My strategy for packing my clothes in my bag is just to make them super, super flat, and I put them in this middle pocket, which has an expansion zip, so it kind of acts like a packing cube. But it is nice to be able to segment my clean clothes from my dirty clothes. And believe it or not, when this packing cube expands, it fits literally all of my clothes in it. So that's 99% of my clothing. And then I keep my outerwear in the main compartment, which is really cool. It's accessible from the back. It's kind of a clamshell, like a normal suitcase. So I have my packable Cotopaxi jacket. It's super warm, packs down in a really small size, and is brightly colored, so it really looks good for photos and videos. Then I have a rain jacket that I bought from REI. Looks good for photos and keeps me dry. A beanie, and then that's all of my clothing.
So I have a small, medium, and large packing cube. Starting with my small, I have a total of 5 pairs of underwear, which I definitely want to buy more of them, but I keep forgetting to when we're at the store. 4 pairs of hiking socks, 2 sports bras, and 2 swimsuits. In my medium packing cube, I have 1 sweater, 2 sweatshirts, a pair of gloves, and a long sleeve thermal shirt. And then finally, I have a large packing cube. So in total, I have 5 crop tops, which in retrospect sounds like kind of a lot, but I have 3 of this crop top that I got from Amazon, and I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah, it looks really good.
If I was a cartoon character, this would essentially be my outfit. I can wear them doing yoga, I can wear them going on a hike, or I can wear them with like a long flowy skirt and look cute in the city. So 5 crop tops, 2 t-shirts. I wish I had a couple more t-shirts, because it turns out a lot of South America and Central America is more on the conservative side, but you live, you learn. I have 1 pair of jeans, which may be controversial, but I think that they're very durable. I wind up wearing them pretty much every travel day, so they don't really wind up taking up that much space while I'm traveling. And they're just super comfortable. I have 2 joggers. One is more of a hiking pair of joggers, and the other is more of a lounge pair.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Jess fall in love with an article of clothing faster than these joggers from Athleta.
They're super flattering, but on top of that, they have 3 pockets that you can zipper up. We wore them at Dia de Muertos in Oaxaca, which is a forthcoming video. Subscribe to see more. We were in a very crowded space, and I was worried about potential pickpocketing, and I was able to zip up my pocket and not be as worried about it. Then I have 2 pairs of yoga pants, one from Lululemon, one from Lavalier. The one kind of regret that I have are the Lavalier ones do not have pockets. I am not a girl who walks around with a purse, and so it's always a pain when I don't have some place to put my cell phone. Like, really the only thing I ever have with me at any given time is my cell phone, because it also serves as my wallet. One of many tips that we'll give in this video: make sure that your pants have pockets, preferably ones that are zippered. I also have a loungy onesie. It's perfect to just go over a bathing suit or a crop top. And then finally, I have 2 pairs of athletic shorts. I also have an extra packing cube that serves as my dirty laundry bag. To be honest, I only put stuff in here that's like really nasty that I don't want to be touching my other clothing. And just like Justin, I have clothes that I haven't really worn that much yet. So I have my handy dandy rain pants for Antarctica that have yet to see use, thankfully. A rain jacket. I spent a long time before our trip trying to find a jacket that wasn't like $300. And I wound up finding this one on Amazon. It's so far has worked really, really well, and it does everything that a raincoat is supposed to do. I also have a puffy jacket that hasn't been seeing a lot of use thus far, but I suspect I will be breaking out much more in Antarctica. I feel like it's kind of a cliche as an adventure girly. Gotta have a Carhartt beanie. And that is it for all of my clothing.
So next up is our toiletries. I keep all of my toiletries in 4 large Ziploc baggies. So I've got one for contact solution and some of my medication, another one for just deodorant, one for floss, toothbrush, and toothpaste. The last one is my rechargeable beer tray.
We've watched several other travel vlogger packing videos, and we've noticed that people tend to bring a lot of toiletries like Band-Aids, motion sickness medicine, all different kinds of stuff. I'd say we're definitely on the lighter side of things. If we've discovered one thing, it's that people all around the world generally need the same type of thing. So you're going to be able to find shampoo everywhere. You're going to be able to generally be able to find like motion sickness medication. You don't really need to bring everything with you unless you're going to an extremely remote place that doesn't have pharmacy. One of the things that we really like about this bag is it has tons of pockets, which makes it super easy to stay organized. So all of my toiletries are in this top mesh pouch, which you can access either from here or from this front side. I have toothpaste and toothbrush in it, a contact solution, deodorant, hair ties, a Ziploc baggie that has some contacts in it, a medication. I have one of these like donut things that you use for your hair, nail clippers that we got during our honeymoon in Japan. I love them. Tweezers and lip balm.
Jessica's strategy for packing used to just be one large pile, like she would stuff toiletries, clothes, electronics, all in one massive pile.
Packing cubes have converted me. You know where everything is in your bag. It makes it so much easier, especially like when this is like essentially your home. It's a much more comforting feeling to know exactly where everything is. And then the final thing that I have is my makeup bag. I don't have a ton of makeup, but I also keep my glasses and contact case in here as well.
Next, we're going to talk about our work setup. Contrary to what a lot of people might think, we are not on vacation. We actually work probably about 80 hours a week. So I travel with a MacBook Air M2 that's fully spec'd with a 2 terabyte hard drive. I absolutely love this thing. It's got a 15-inch screen and it's super light and compact. I don't have any external monitors. I used to use 3 monitors with my work setup, so now I just use one, which is just barely enough for editing these videos.
I didn't think that Justin was actually going to be able to just work off of the laptop because he used to have a very complicated work setup, but I feel like you've really turned it around.
One of the things that makes it possible is that, so this is actually part of the riser that I set my laptop on, and with the help of this tripod adapter for my camera and the tripod itself, which is currently being used to film us, I can make a makeshift standing desk. It's hard for me to like sit all day and work on my laptop. I prefer to stand. Usually when we get to like an Airbnb or something like that, I can find some little corner where I can raise my laptop up on this stand. And then I have in this little container, along with a bunch of other electronics, a tiny foldable keyboard. I love this thing. Look at how tiny this is. It weighs about 7 ounces. And it flips open to being about the size, maybe even a little bit bigger than the keyboard that's built into my MacBook Air. This thing is rechargeable, and I feel like it can hold a charge for like a month or more.
I'm really bad about charging mine. Like I literally sometimes go like 4 to 5 months without charging it, and somehow it still works.
And then I also use this tiny mouse that I found on Amazon. It was like $6 or $7. And it works both either on Bluetooth or a tiny little USB thing that you can plug into your computer. But I just hook both of these up to my laptop with Bluetooth. I can set these on the counter, and then I've got like a pretty comfortable work setup. I do wish my screen was a little bit bigger, but I've been able to make it work for over a year now. That's my full-time setup in our trailer.
One of the things that I really like is that everything that we're showing you now, we also use in our trailer, so it's not like we just put it in our backpacks. We use it like all the time, so it's very multifunctional.
Yeah, it's been tested for sure.
I have a MacBook Air M1, so it's built with a 1 terabyte hard drive. As I've mentioned before, we've watched several of these travel content creator videos. A lot of people wind up bringing along external hard drives. We're just very cautious people, and we've seen many people who have had issues either losing them or their hard drives crashing, so that's not something that we're comfortable with.
Yeah, so we instead decided to spend a little bit more money when we bought these laptops by getting the largest capacity hard drives that we could built into them. We have 3 terabytes of storage inside of our 2 laptops, which is way more than enough to get us through a month or longer without ever having to put anything in the cloud. After every photo shoot or video shoot, we immediately take everything off of our cameras, put it on the laptop, and as soon as we get back to our Airbnb or hotel where there's a Wi-Fi connection, it starts uploading to Dropbox. So we use a professional Dropbox account that has like 9 terabytes of storage. It's an incredible solution for us because let's say we capture a bunch of media that we're not going to use right away. We can upload it to the cloud so it doesn't use any storage on our laptop. And then when we want to start working with it, let's say a week or a month or a year later, we click a single button, it downloads everything in that file, and then we can just open it up in our various editing applications like Adobe Lightroom or Premiere and edit with it. And most importantly, like Jess said, we're not at risk of losing our data. It would really suck if our stuff got stolen, but we have insurance on all of our hardware, so it can be replaced like that. The only thing that can't be replaced is the media that we collected. Just a month ago, my cell phone took an accidental dip in a hot tub. We used that cell phone heavily to shoot one of our videos, and I thought we just completely lost that footage. Amazingly, the repair shop was able to do some data recovery and get all of it off, so we were able to make that video. But that's the risk if you have stuff stored on external hard drives. Also, hard drives fail. And so like you're not just at risk of having it stolen, but sometimes hard drives just break and take up a lot of space and add a lot of additional weight to your bags. So I think we found a really elegant solution using Dropbox.
Like Justin, I have a stand to help lift up my laptop. I got this for like $7 on Amazon. To be honest, it's not perfect. I wish that it kind of raised up my laptop a little bit more, but I love how compact it is and it's super easy to throw in my bag, and it's definitely better than nothing. I also have a collapsible keyboard as well as a wireless mouse. I love the fact that my quote-unquote work setup is relatively ergonomic, but probably in total weighs like less than a pound.
Now moving on to all of our camera stuff. This Peak Design bag is really cool because it is compatible with Peak Design's camera cube. You're looking at the medium camera cube that latches into the bag with these clips so that it doesn't come out when you're using it. You can organize it in about a million different ways with these little dividers. What's also really cool is it is compatible with the side flaps of the bag. So I can access my camera while I'm wearing it by flipping it over on one shoulder, and you'll notice that the side flap of the camera cube actually stays open with the side flap of the bag. So this is where I keep the camera that you're shooting us with right now while it's attached to our long lens, so the full thing can fit down in this little compartment.
Also, can I just give a shout out to Justin for taking up 90% of his back by carrying your camera stuff. Thanks, husband.
Yeah, this is like a little recording studio on my back, but it's pretty cool that you can carry all this stuff with you. In the camera cube, top to bottom, I've got our drone remote that I just keep in this little handle that's built onto the cube. That's really nice. If you want to take the whole cube out and zip it up and just carry it around, you can. But I just use it to hold the remote for our drone. Speaking of which, we use a DJI Mini 3 Pro. This is incredible. It weighs 249 grams, so it bypasses a ton of international restrictions for flight. You still have to make sure that you know all of the flight restrictions when you travel. We are always extremely careful and cautious and courteous when we're flying around other people. Make sure that you follow the rules and don't fly when you're not supposed to, because that's how you ruin drone flight for everyone else.
But really quickly, one of the things that I love about this drone too is that it can film both horizontally and vertically now that vertical shots are much more prevalent on social media, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc.
And just look at how tiny this thing gets. I mean, it's really amazing how light this is. This is normally where I keep the shotgun mic that's being used on the camera. Right now I've got our smaller 50mm lens that's attached to the Peak Design lens kit. This is super, super cool. It's compatible with Peak Design's capture clips, which I'll show you in just a second, and can hold two different lenses so you can keep them right on your chest or on your belt. It keeps our lenses quickly accessible so that we can get the shot that we need to take much faster rather than having to take the bag off and fish a lens out and swap it out on the camera. I love it.
And if you really want attention on hiking trails, definitely get this because everyone's got lots of questions and likes to say, ooh, you must be a professional photographer if you're wearing it.
I also probably look like a dork. I look like camera transformer sometimes. And then I also keep this little adapter that I use for our camera. This just shifts the center of gravity for the camera when I have the heavier long lens on it so that my tripod stays more stable. In this pocket, I've got our GoPro Hero 10 with a little backpack clip that we keep on it that can articulate in a bunch of different directions. This is really nice, so you can just like kind of walk around, keep it on your backpack, and get some more candid shots. Then I have two ND filters, one for our wide angle lens and one for our long lens. And then I've got a bunch of tiny little ND filters that I use for our drone. Moving below that, we've got this long compartment that holds our camera, which you just saw a few minutes ago. This is a tiny little cool Velcro pocket that comes with a camera cube that holds a bunch of tiny little camera accessories like memory cards, memory card readers, little tools that we use to adjust the legs on our tripods, SIM card tray tools, as well as tiny little screwdrivers to replace the blades on our drone and stuff like that. And then moving down here, we've got a hardshell GoPro case that I use for keeping the mouse and keyboard that you saw earlier. But in addition to that, it's got our wireless mic kit. This holds a receiver and 2 wireless microphones. We've also got the little wired lav mics, some little dead cat covers for our wireless mics, some extra GoPro batteries, and extra GoPro mounting accessories. And then last but not least, in the main compartment, I've got a little charging dock for our drone, which carries 2 extra batteries that can last, I think, for like 45 minutes on a flight, depending on the wind conditions. It can fly way longer than I ever need to fly in a single session, which was not always the case with old drone technology. And then I've got 1 extra battery for the Sony camera, which is filming right now. Speaking of which, we shoot with a Sony a7 III. It's an older model, but we love the camera. It's able to take some pretty incredible photos, and in fact, we loved it so much that we decided to buy another one a couple months ago when we left for this trip. It's getting kind of older, so we didn't want to risk it breaking while we were traveling to really important places like Antarctica, where we didn't want to risk not having a camera with us. We still have the old one, and Jessica carries that in her bag.
We wound up doing a lot of research to try to figure out whether we should upgrade our camera, get something different, but we wound up coming back to an a7 III kind of with the price point and the fact that we both do photography and videography. It just kind of seemed to be the best fit for us.
We still think it's an incredible camera, and now you can get it for under $1,500, which is incredible. It used to be like over $3,000. We could probably make a whole video about that, so instead I will just link to the full review that we've written about this camera if you want to know more about it. Moving to the outside of the bag, you'll notice on our straps we've got what are called Peak Design capture clips. So I mentioned that lens kit earlier for the macro lens. This is super cool because it can actually slide down into this capture clip, and when you put the other lens on here, you can simply rotate them like this. This is nice because I can really easily swap lenses by turning this sideways, and you can put the heavier lens facing down. We always keep a tripod mounting plate permanently attached to the bottom of our camera, so it can just be attached on our capture clips, which we keep on the straps of both of our bags. Also, what normally goes in this pocket, in this case right here, is our Peak Design travel tripod. We use the carbon fiber version, which weighs 2.8 pounds, or you could save a lot of money and get the aluminum version, which weighs, I think, 3.4 pounds. I absolutely love this tripod. It's incredibly versatile, lightweight. It fits into a water bottle pocket. You can invert the center column in just a few seconds. So
there's this cool little cell phone mount. The functionality and versatility of it is endless.
And it's really well built, and it has a lifetime warranty. I had an issue with one, and I told them about it, and they just sent me an entirely new tripod.
Like immediately.
It goes everywhere, in lakes, puddles, in dirt, mud, and oceans. I mean, it's really incredible. They're not cheap, but Peak Design makes some incredible products, and they stand behind it with their lifetime warranty on all their products. One other thing that I want to show you that's really cool, this Peak Design bag has hip straps, which hide underneath these magnetic flaps as well. This is really nice if we ever want to go backcountry camping. We take out all of our other gear and clothes. We can go on a 1 or 2 day backpacking trip, and I can transfer a lot of the weight for this backpack onto my hips, which makes it more comfortable when you're walking around too, and the bag is fully packed and it weighs like 25 or 30 pounds.
Justin is a baller and carries probably 99% of our camera equipment. I do have a few things in my bag. Primarily, I have our GoPro dive case. We are both scuba divers, and we're hoping to get some good diving in the Galapagos Islands this year. So this basically protects your GoPro. You can go up to 196 feet underwater. Otherwise, I think it only can go like 35 feet underwater. And as Justin mentioned, we also have kept our old a7 III as a backup, so I just keep it in case something goes wrong, we get wet, whatever. We have one ready to go. So this is going to be the last portion of the video, which is essentially just kind of the miscellaneous odds and ends that we bring traveling with us. Starting with the C2 Summit backpacking pillows. So we primarily use these when we're on like backcountry camping trips. They act just as well as kind of travel pillows, like airplanes. We use them on the train to Churchill. And then we've been in a few Airbnbs and hotels that just have, frankly, super uncomfortable pillows.
Yeah.
So we can use these as sort of like backup pillows in case of hotel emergency.
It's more of a luxury item, but I'm glad that we travel with them.
I got this sleep mask in our honeymoon to Japan, and I'm just very fond of it. I'm also a very, very bad sleeper, so if there's any source of light, I have a really hard time sleeping.
It's 2 little slices of bread. Isn't that cute?
And then I have 2 sets of earplugs. Moving on to other miscellaneous items that I have, we have these 2 packable day bags.
Yeah, I was a little sus about these. These are actually the newest addition to our travel pack. They're actually really cool. We've been using them to run laundry, so we can just put all of our laundry in these. They're really nice when you want to go grocery shopping. We don't have to take these bigger packs with us. We can just load these up with groceries. They fold up into this super small size. If you want, you could actually easily clip it to the outside of your bag. So I'm really glad that we got these.
Yeah, we wind up using them to like walk around cities if we just are going to bring our tripod and camera. Like I said before, I don't have a purse. We don't have any other bags besides these, so these are nice just to be able to have a smaller, lighter bag that isn't enormous and we don't have to unpack everything. We also have this dry bag. I don't know that we'd take this if we didn't have as many expensive electronics, but like when we go on the Zodiac boats in Antarctica, it'll be nice to have it for putting our cameras in, as well as sometimes when we go to beaches, hot springs, things like that, we keep our electronics in it. We have this international adapter, which offers 4 different USB ports, as well as you can plug it into any country in the world, as well as our headlamps. We haven't used them yet, but we plan on doing a bunch of hiking in Patagonia, as well as Peru and Ecuador. So these will definitely come in handy when we are waking up in the morning to do sunrise hikes.
And they're rechargeable, so you don't have to buy a bunch of extra batteries.
I have this giant water bottle. We used to both have one, but somehow Justin's mysteriously disappeared. But these are super nice whenever we're in a country where we can't drink the water. We can buy large bottles of water and then fill these up so we can waste less plastic. Not throwing out tiny bottles of water all the time. I also have chargers and phone cables, which I won't show you since you already know what they look like. And then in this outside pouch, I keep all of the things that we have to access all the time. So I have both of our passports, a bunch of different credit cards and things like that, sunglasses, my wired headphones, and my wireless headphones. Finally, the last kind of item that I want to show are these battery packs. We also bought these for our honeymoon to Japan, which was in 2017, so at this point 7 years ago, and somehow it's still chugging, and we have not been able to find another battery pack that's as thin and functional as this is. Yeah,
there's about 1 billion of these on the market, but we love it so much that we actually bought another one. It has quick charging. You can charge it via USB-A, USB-C, micro USB, lightning port, and then it can charge 5 different devices at the same time, and it's super thin, so we each carry one of these in our bag. Moving on to my miscellaneous items, just showed you her charging pack. I have the exact same one in there. I've got 1 pen, some wired earbuds, I've got the cable for my laptop, a wide assortment of USB cables, C to C, A to C, lightning cables, some extra earplugs, some lens cloths, some camera sensor swabs, more lens cloths, and then moving to the outside of the bag, the quick access pocket, this is where I keep my sunglasses. I've also got a tiny little pill bottle full of Tylenol, some extra USB-C cables that I can grab without having to go to the inside of the bag, and I've got a key which access to the storage locker in Quebec where all of our other worldly possessions are stored. And I think that's pretty much everything that's in our bag. I can't believe all of it fits. Now that our bags are totally unpacked, I can show you some other cool features. This center mesh pocket essentially acts as a divider between the medium pocket and the large pocket. What's really cool, if you have big bulky items, this thing can totally zip down, roll up, and it can essentially just be one massive compartment. Another thing that's really cool about this bag, right now it's in its 45-liter configuration. So if you zip these down on both sides, this is what it looks like when it's in its 40-liter configuration. You'll notice on top you've got these 2 snaps, which you can snap shut. So the back has an even smaller profile. This is its 35-liter configuration, which looks a lot less bulky. Let's say we're staying someplace for a while. I can take most of our stuff out and I can walk around town and it can look like this. And then last but not least is the stuff that I carry on me all the time. I'm always wearing this hat. I actually love this hat. I just got it on Amazon. I've always been on the hunt for a good one. It's just plain. It's just a plain gray hat with no logos, which is really nice. I just watched this video. I think Mark Rober wears the exact same thing. I'm not 100%
Justin
certain.
was influenced. Maybe Mark Rober was influenced by Justin.
Mark Rober, you stole my hat, bro. But anyway, I love this hat. It cleans up very easily. It looks very plain. It's breathable. I also carry my cork wallet in my pocket, my wireless earbuds, and last but not least, my Samsung Galaxy S23, which I'm currently using to control filming us right now. So we've been traveling internationally for about a month now, and I'm curious, is there anything that you wish you would have brought that we haven't been traveling with so far?
I did not bring a baseball hat, and I never was a baseball hat person, like up until maybe a year and a half ago. I have very blue eyes, and I feel like the sun just like blinds me, and I really, really wish that I brought a baseball hat. Is there anything that you wish you brought?
I don't know how we would carry it, but I kind of wish we had an extra tripod. I think if anything, I'd buy another Peak Design carbon fiber tripod just because it's so compact and lightweight. I'm also interested in getting one of those like gorilla pods with the little flexible legs that you could like mount on a post or something like that.
We wind up having to film things both horizontally and vertical a lot, so it's kind of a pain because sometimes we have to shoot things twice. Having two tripods would be awesome. We have learned a ton about packing over the last 8 years, so if you have any questions about packing for international or long-term travel or about any of the products that we have showed today, let us know in the comments below.
We're going to be traveling all across South America and Antarctica for the next 8 months, so be sure to subscribe to follow our adventures. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.